I sculpted a one-of-a-kind polymer clay mug that perfectly captures the adventurous spirit of the game Deep Rock Galactic. So raise a glass for Carl, grab your pickaxe, and join me as we explore the depths of this incredible mug. Rock and stone everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how I made this pots of gold mug from the game Deep Rock Galactic in honor of St. Patrick's Day. So let's honor our fallen and celebrate our successes with this unique and rugged mug that perfectly captures the game's sense of camaraderie and adventure. So if you're ready, let's get crafty. So starting this project off, I used a 12-ounce tumbler and I wrapped a larger gauge armature wire that I got from Michaels. It does not have the gauge on the package. I'm guessing it's roughly an 8 gauge, but I just created kind of a base structure for where my handle is going to go. Since this handle is going to be basically an axe, I'm creating a little bit more structure for where the back part of the axe is going to go. Then to start to make it look more like a dwarven style mug, I placed some ultralight clay on the top and bottom to create those like rims that this mug has. I used my X-Acto knife to clean up the edges just to make it look a little bit more cleaner. To create that axe shape, I take some more ultralight clay and I bulk out that handle to look more like the shape of that axe. To finish off the base layer of the mug, I place a thin layer of ultralight around the center of the mug and wrap it all the way around, and then I place it in the oven to bake. Once my mug is baked and cooled, then I wrap the whole thing in my Super Sculpey Original. To help it stick to the mug, I do use liquid Sculpey. So to create the hexagonal shape at the top of the rim and the bottom of the rim, I took some rectangle shapes and just kind of pieced them together to create those edges, and then I would blend it in and then use my tissue blade to just sharpen those edges. For that bottom rim, I just lined up my rectangles with the same angles as my top rim and it repeated the same process. Then I just used this flat tool that I had to kind of help just flatten out some of those areas and make those lines a little bit more cleaner. For the center part, I want to create the same angles, but I want them to be a little bit thinner than the top rims so the rims will stand out, but then I blend them in really nicely and then start to create those sharp edges like I did with the rims. Here I'm starting to shape out the emblem for the Deep Rock Galactic mug that I'm basing my cup after. Now if you want to recreate this mug but you either do not play Deep Rock Galactic or you want it to look different than Deep Rock Galactic, you can easily remake this mug and just put your own spin on it and give it a unique emblem that fits kind of a dwarven feel. But here I'm just cutting out some thin strips of clay and just kind of edging out that shield part of the emblem that goes on this mug. And here I'm just adding the diamonds that go on either side of the axe and then a small one on the bottom. Then I add the last part of the emblem and I start to create this axe that goes right in the middle. Once I'm finished with my emblem, then I create the rest of the side panels that create that sharp edges all the way around the mug. Here I am creating kind of that trapezoidal shape that goes on the panels that are not where the emblem are, and I just place it right there in the center and add these little crystal-like diamond shapes on both sides of each of these trapezoids. Here is where I remembered that I didn't add these embellishments in the top two corner pieces and also on the bottom, so I go ahead and add them here. Once I finish this, then I recreate the same look on the other side. At this point, I baked my clay, so I didn't mess up any of the details I had created before, and now I covered my handle in some fresh clay and started creating the detailing on the handle. I'm just taking some pieces of clay to create kind of a slightly smaller edging right at the edge of that handle, and I just blend it in and give it some really sharp. Then I start adding the detailing around the center part of the axe and just try to keep in the theme of very sharp lines. So I'm studying my reference photo and I noticed that the corners on these axe, the top part of this axe portion is cut off. So here I'm just taking my tissue blade and just cutting off those corners. I added this little rim right at the base of the head of the axe. Then I finish off the top part of the axe by placing a round piece of clay and cutting it into an octagonal shape. I then take my needlepoint tool and just start to create these little lines that go on the handle. Then I finish off the handle by placing this little rim around the base of my handle, smoothing it out, and then cutting off the corners to give it more of a sharp-edged look. To finish off the sculpting part of this mug, I take these rectangle pieces and place them in 4 corners of the top part of the mug. And when I'm finished, I put it in the oven for one final bake. So on to the painting portion. I started off with this silver gray color on the rims, and I realized that this color was actually more of a coppery kind of silver. So I took my silver and mixed it in with a little bit of a copper paint and then repainted all of these areas. Because I am making the Pots of Gold mug, the center portion of this mug is going to be green, but a lot of their mugs are very similar. So you could use this style and just paint it in the colors that you want it to look like. Then I finish off the detail painting with this metallic gold paint. I am not a huge fan of metallic gold paint. Now I'm using the Folkart brand. It does okay. If there is a better brand, feel free to leave a comment so that I can try some new brands if there's a better one out there. I just feel that this particular brand, I believe this is Folkart brand, just use way more coats than I prefer to use. But back to the task at hand, I just finished painting off the handle area and the emblems and little crystal-like shapes on the sides of the mug, and then I will be completely finished. I'm also just now noticing that I did not show the kind of silver portion that I painted. I used kind of a dark silver color for the rectangle embellishments at the top and also at the base of my handle. I will say there are some portions on this mug that are not as smooth as I would like. I would have liked them to be a little bit more cleaner, but if you play Deep Rock Galactic, you know that these mugs get tossed around all the time. So in my headcanon, this mug is just, got some wear and tear from all the tossing around of these mugs these dwarves do. This is one hefty dwarven mug. Now I will say, if you are epoxying it like I did, be sure to really secure it to your tumbler turner because mine fell off. Me and epoxy do not get along well, and much to my chagrin, it's continued to stay a trend, and I had to fix him. Thankfully, this is not one I am planning on selling, so it's not too much of an issue, but I would keep that in mind if you are going to be making this or even something similar to this. Also, I was considering adding a foam topper to the top of this mug to kind of show off the beer stout that's inside. If that's something you guys would like to see, leave a comment in the comment section below so I know to add it to my list if that's something you're interested in. As always, if you are making this to drink out of, be sure to seal it with epoxy or an epoxy alternative like Crystalline, just to be sure that it's safer to drink out of. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope you had an amazing day. Anyways, I hope you all had an amazing St. Patrick's Day yesterday. I hope you have an amazing day today. And as always, remember to stay crafty.